What is up, everyone? It's Evan here, and today I'm going to be searching for one Nintendo Switch game I've been looking for a while here in New York City. The goal today is simple: find one game that I have been searching for nonstop. I waited a little bit too long for it, and now looks like my opportunity is kind of running dry, at least to find this game at a decent price. So I won't tell you what it is until I find it. Even if I don't buy it, if I see the game, you can know what it is. And then from there, you can follow along in the journey of actually trying to buy it. If I don't end up buying the game that I want, well, maybe I'll buy something else just to, kind of make myself feel better. Let's see if I can find it. Pretty much the whole month I haven't had any luck. So with that, I'm off. First stop, obviously, the Nintendo store. This place usually doesn't have that good of stuff in terms of like games. If you want like merch and everything, it's fine, but I don't know. In terms of games, they usually don't have that much, and I never really have any good luck here. Usually if there is a game I want here, it's never like on sale, even if it's old. So we'll take a look in, see if there's anything. Walking in here, it's pretty much status quo. I know I'm pretty lucky to live so close to the Nintendo store and I can go whenever I want. Not like I have to take a huge pilgrimage, but this store really isn't all that interesting when you can go in often. They had this cool photo op set up for Pokemon Legends ZA. I liked this. I don't have anybody to take a picture with here though. Heading over to the games, taking a look here. There's not a ton. They've definitely scaled down the games display. They actually moved it from the back wall to like a side wall near the registers. And moving over to the right here is all the Switch 2 games, which there's not a ton, especially some you'd expect. Like there's no Cyberpunk. I did take a good long look at Pokemon Legends ZA though. I've been thinking about this game, but I don't know. On the fence. We'll see. I'll come back to this later. And unfortunately, the game I'm looking for is not here. So struck out, but let's go look around anyway. The merch game is usually pretty solid here. I really love this Link statue and I look at it every time. But taking a look around, one thing that immediately drew my eye were these Metroid bottles. Look actually pretty cool. And this Metroid calendar. There's a lot of like Prime era renders in here. You can even see the Metroid Prime 2 cover art is on there. The alternate art for the Prime Remastered is the last one. Kind of cool. I'm not going to pick this up because I don't really use a full calendar. The store, though, always comes correct with Zelda stuff. Love these two statues, especially this Hylian shield from Breath of the Wild. Really amazing. Looks beautiful, and honestly, really not that badly priced either. These little heart containers were catching my attention, too. Cool Navi wallets, but I waited to see exactly what this thing was. It's a compact mirror. Oh, okay, so it's like a mirror for your purse. That's interesting. Looks cool. A lot of socks on these shelves, too, but the one thing I really, really want here is this Proplica Master Sword. It is beautiful. It's such great detail. It's huge, and it's only $200. Again, not bad. You could pick up all the NSO controllers, which is nice to have a place to do that in person because they're always sold out online. And while this isn't the best store for buying games and I didn't find what I was looking for, it was a fun trip into the Nintendo store. Okay, so kind of like I said in there, they just never really have the games. They have the merch, but never the games. So let's keep going. I know a couple other good spots. This is just the starting point. I just had to start this video at the Nintendo store. That's actually not the first place I wanted to go. The first place I wanted to go was Book Off, which is a Japanese-based media reselling store. And they tend to have a lot of good stuff. I'm sure you've heard of Book Off. There's a couple locations here in the US, and they do really well with having good inventory. There's a ton of games in here, and I'm already here, so that makes things easier. I have spent entirely too much time and money at Book Off. They just always seem to have something that's really cool or something I've never seen before at the expense of prices. It could be a little bit much, but that Diablo Loot Goblin amiibo is so sick. I don't think I've ever seen that before. And the Switch games and just games in general, it just goes on and on here. I mean, taking a look at this wall, it goes all the way to the back, stretches around, and there was more at one point. There's just construction going on. When I started collecting, I loved all of these Japanese games. I've since moved away from collecting Japanese games, but this is kind of how I got hooked in. $45 for this copies of Mirror's Edge is like, what? That's crazy. I've always been a sucker for weird ports, but Hogwarts Legacy on Switch is one I did stay away from because it's just so compromised. There's no way I was going to get a good experience out of that game. Slipstream. Are you here? That's not the game, but I do want it. Mon, you defeat monsters and gain strong weapons and armor, and you may be defeated, but don't give up. Become stronger. I believe there will be a day when the heroes defeat the Devil King. That is a crazy name, but it's only on the spine as Mon Yu. Unfortunately, the game I was looking for is also not here. But there was some other cool Switch stuff. Of Mario Kart World. Like a lot. $60. I guess we don't have a copy already. That's pretty good. Yeah. Again, 60 for Zelda. 60, 60, 60. Not too bad on Switch 2 games. It's kind of a cool steelbook. Not really a game I'm trying to pay $40 though. Shantae and the Pirate's Curse. No price on it. I think this was $500 though. This place is just packed to the gills with so much good Switch stuff. Special editions, big boxes, you name it. There's a good chance it's here. But the one game that I want isn't here. So gonna have to cut my losses and head out. All right, guys, real quick before we keep going, I just want to ask if you can hit that like button. It would be a huge help for the channel. And hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. We're gonna have more game collecting content, more game hunts like this in the future. And really quick, I want to give you guys just a few more hints on what the game could be before we get too deep into this video. So the first hint, it is a very popular game. It has a 93 on Metacritic. It's available on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, and Nintendo Switch, of course. And it's a game that is pretty in the news. It's definitely relevant right now, but not this game exactly. All right, that's all the hints I got for you. Let's get back into the video. No look at Book Off, which kind of sucks because they have so many games. I was honestly hoping it would be there. I guess I wasn't expecting it. I don't want to expect too much, but damn, that kind of sucks. Now I'm really gonna have to be searching. I got one more stop uptown here, and then I'm gonna head downtown. So let's see if I can get lucky again. Just like Book Off, JNL has an unbelievable Switch selection. There are so many games here, but it's probably because they're priced like this. I mean, this Black Spine copy of Darksiders, while a bit rare, $80 is pretty insane even still, and $120 for this new copy of Octopath Traveler is whew. Above all the Switch games here is a wall of what I assume to be every amiibo ever made. There is so many of them. If you're missing one, you're probably gonna have to pay up for it, but it's likely here. Anyway, I searched all of these Switch games. I was in here for a good 25 minutes just trying to find the game that I need, but no luck. The game I need should be right there. There's a hint for you. It's not there. I did see this copy of Xenocrisis, which I have never seen in person before. That was pretty cool. Overall, JNL is a great place to go, especially for picking up new games. But for today, it's just another strikeout to add to the list. Not great. You know, they have a ton of games in there, and I do like going to JNL when I need to find new games. They usually have them, and they're normally priced. It's whatever. I'm okay with supporting the local business. I'm all for that. I usually try and buy all my games locally if I can. However, when it comes to like used games there, they have a ton of them, but they're like museum priced. They're just so expensive. Sometimes I have walked away with something there just because you're just never gonna find it anywhere else in person. A lot of times stuff is sealed too, that's nice, but JNL is a little bit of a tough store to shop at sometimes. I do like going there for new games though. And if you're in the city, give them a look because there's just a lot to see. I just showed a lot of mostly Switch stuff, but really there is a ton of stuff in that store. And if there's something you're looking for and you're willing to pay up a little bit for it, you can find it there. So now I'm gonna get on the train and go downtown, see if I have a little bit of better luck. I'm thinking there's a couple other stores there. Another one with a huge Switch selection. Good chance, good chance. Hopes are still high. If not, I'm gonna have to buy something to make myself feel better. So I consider myself a little bit of a connoisseur of GameStops. I like to go to a lot of GameStops, pretty much all that I see, because I think GameStop is really fun to go to now. Ever since they came back with the retro initiative, GameStop has been a really, really good time to go to because you really never know what you're going to find there. There's been retro games I have found that I was super surprised at. My copy of Silent Hill 2 came from a GameStop. I've seen copies of Parasite Eve 1 and 2 for actually really good money. You don't really know what you're going to find there, and so I enjoy going there pretty much all of the time if I see one I want to stop there, because it's kind of like rolling the dice. But it's not gambling because you never lose. You just don't have to buy anything. Oh, GameStop. We meet again. This location is far from my favorite. In fact, I really don't like any of the GameStops in the city. They have this whole wall of Switch 2 stuff, but most of it's just display cases. And really, this whole store is a lot of display cases. It's very hard to find a pre-owned game with the original art here. Even with a buy two, get one going on right now, there just wasn't anything I was all too interested in here. I checked out this copy of Happy Birthdays. I remember this game was rare at one point, but it's actually pretty close to market value, and you could see it doesn't have the art, because of course. Like, what do people do? Do they sell the art on eBay? Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. There is a fair selection of retro games, at least at the store, and I always get a kick out of this copy of Daytona USA on Saturn, which is incorrectly labeled as the NetLink edition, which would make it the single rarest Saturn game ever. Geez, I wish that was right for 30 bucks. This wall of 360, Wii, and PS3 stuff was actually pretty good. A lot of this stuff at least has actual art, and I took a particular interest in this version of Painkiller on PS3. At first glance, you might not notice anything about it, but it's actually the first print, and you can tell because at the bottom it says Nordic Games instead of THQ Nordic. This version carries quite a bit more value than that reprint. However, I was pretty on the fence about picking it up. It would be a resell for me, and still a pretty good deal for anyone who's looking for this particular version of the game, and I guess that's why you go to GameStop. You just never know what's going to show up. The thing that's tough at these New York GameStops is most other people who are coming in probably have a good idea of what's on the shelves as well, so competition is pretty fierce. I very nearly left with this copy of Another Crab's Treasure. Forgot this physical even came out, but keeping my eyes on the prize. No luck here again. Let's go. All right, so that GameStop was a little bit of a fail. Some cool stuff in there. The copy of Painkiller is actually kind of expensive for what it is. If you find that Nordic Games first print, it's quite a bit of money actually. I just wasn't really gonna try and flip that. Not really something that sells enough for me to kind of be interested in it. So I like to come into Target to try and find clearance. I love Ninja Gaiden 4. The game just came out, apparently really good. I like to go through Target because the stuff goes on clearance kind of a lot, and sometimes it's even like kind of new stuff. And I don't see anything on clearance here, but there are signs like this God of War Ragnarok for $29.99. Epic Mickey for $12. That's not too bad, actually. Lit Fiction on Switch 2 for $15. Which, like, I paid $25 for my copy. I mean, come on, Target. Can we keep it consistent? And yes, I'm not really happy I bought this, but my wife wanted to play Split Fiction. I don't know. Epic Mickey for $12. Not too bad, but I need to kind of restrain myself a little bit. Not that usually when I see a game for $12, I will buy it, but I gotta kind of keep my eye on the prize here. We got one more store to go to within walking distance. Hopefully the best is for last. And if I don't find it, I will tell you what the game is. I actually was at GameStop trying to find it on PS5 to tell you a little bit sooner, but Destiny wasn't on my side or your side apparently. I don't know. I'm kind of nervous here. I don't know if I'm going to find this game. Again, it's pretty much in the news right now. People are definitely going to be looking for it. I am not the only person who wants this game right now, so it's going to be some luck if we find it. Otherwise, backup plans. It would be kind of lame to go on a game hunt and then buy a brand new game, but I have been really tempted to get Pokemon. Reviews have been just so like polarizing about that game. I just don't understand. Some people say it's amazing, it's great, it's like this awesome Pokemon adventure. Other people are saying that it doesn't look great. The game is lazily made, the map is terrible, and the action is boring. I mean, I've seen every criticism under the sun for it, so if you played it, let me know. Let me know what you think about it, because I probably will grab it to try for myself, even if it's like a 7 out of 10. I do tend to like 7 out of 10 games, although I don't love Pokemon. That's just kind of been out on that series for a little bit now. I've been on the fence about it. I don't love to buy games I'm on the fence about, and that says a lot for me because I buy a lot of games. Hopefully it doesn't get to that point. Last stop of the day is Video Games New York, and I will say I didn't record a ton of footage in here. It's just so tight. You can really only fit one person in there at a time. It's crazy. One of the rules of New York is that you gotta work upwards, and you can see the games piled up pretty much to the ceiling. But like a lot of the other game stores today, the Switch selection is huge here. I've bought a fair number of import Switch games here, and I was taking a good look through these because there's a lot of stuff that's come out and do not have in my collection yet. I already have Clock Tower Rewind, but this cover is so much better than the one Limited Run gave us. Always make it a point to look through the Sega Saturn games, and I was really shocked to see this copy of Magic Knight Rayearth. Don't see this one very much. And of course, if you do visit Video Games New York, you have to check out their museum section. So much cool stuff, including a PS3 signed by Hideo Kojima, a DS signed by Miyamoto, and lots more. You can pick out, pause this video, check it all out. It's a sight to see, and you could spend definitely a good couple minutes in this very, very tiny corner. And so the final question, did I find the Switch game I was looking for? What game was it? Well, so that was definitely a bit of a failure. The game, everybody, I was looking for was Hades for the Switch. Unfortunately, could not find it today. Literally could not find it anywhere. Just feel like it's nowhere in the city. It's nowhere right now that I'm willing to go. I ended up getting Pokemon Legends instead. Trying to see what all the hype is about. The hate, the hype, I don't know what to call it. But it was my backup plan. I said I was going to stick to my backup plan. So we got it. I will probably follow up with my thoughts on this game eventually. Let me know what you think, though, if you're playing Pokemon Legends right now. I haven't played a Pokemon game since, like, Shining Pearl, and I really didn't like it. I feel like that's not a crazy opinion either, so let me know down below. Are you playing Pokemon Legends? Do you like it? Is it hate warranted? All right, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you got the game at any point, if you guessed it. And let me know, do you have Hades? Are you trying to find it? Are you excited for Hades 2 to come out on Switch 2? And let me know about Pokemon too, because I'm playing through it right now. And so far, I'm enjoying it. I think it's pretty good. Anyway, guys, that's it for me. Peace out. Have a good one.